Students who are in the online, am I audible, students? Students, those who says good evening, I am also saying good evening. So let us move to the further. So Malla, everyone is. So coming to Akhil Gaud to everyone, http classroom google.com. What is this, my dear student? Akhil Gaud, Farhana Khan. Happy Raksha Bandhan, sir. Thank you, ma. Thank you. So let us move to the further. I'll go to the today. I'm going to start about the new topic. So let us start with previously we completed about. So drive link, sir. Who asked that link? Who asked that link? You asked it. Okay. So let us start the discussion now. Coming to enter into the further. Today we are entering into multi-threading. Multi-threading in Python we are going to discuss. Multi-threading in Python we are going to discuss. Actually, this topic, project-based companies, they don't ask. But when you go to product-based companies, if you go, there is a chance of asking multi-threading. But we discuss in the class completely. So when you go to product-based companies, these questions will be coming. In project-based companies, they won't ask anything. So if you are so serious about Python, you try to remember this multi-threading. This will take 3 days in the class. 3 days it will take. Let us start. What will be the index here? What will be the index? So I'm going to talk. It is a quite difficult. Difficult in the sense it is for the student is concerned, for imagining and grasping that it will take some time. So there I'm talking about purpose of multi-threading. Purpose of multi-threading. So I hope you people will understand. Next is called types of applications. Types of applications. There I will talk about A. Process-based applications. Process-based applications. Second one I will talk about thread-based applications. Thread-based applications. Thread-based applications. And next we'll go for programming examples immediately. In example, I will go for thread-based and all those things. And next, development of thread-based applications. Development of thread-based applications. I'll go for discussing. And next, module name for thread-based application. The module name for thread-based applications. That module name is called threading. Threading is a module name. Next, after that, functions in threading module. Functions in threading module. Functions in threading module. And next we'll go for number of approaches to develop thread-based applications. Thread-based applications. There I will take first one by using functional programming, and the second one by using object-oriented programming. By using object-oriented programming, followed by programming examples. This is one thing. This is one level of example. Next, I am going to talk about deadlock occurrence with examples. Synchronization technique. synchronization technique. Synchronization technique for eliminating deadlock. Deadlock occurrence. Deadlock occurrence. Next, followed by programming examples. Followed by multiple programming examples. So this is the one I'm going to talk about this concept. So multi-threading in Python, index. This first step, today we will go for up to the first part we will discuss. In some of the examples we'll discuss. And next step, this I will take 3 days multi-threading. It's easy in one way, and it is going to be somewhat difficulty for imagination because this is going to be little different compared to other programming. So I hope you will follow. And even if you don't follow and don't get any tension, people are not asking multi-threading in Python level. Even in Java level is also there. C#.NET is also there. If you, and I hope you will understand. If anybody did not understand, don't worry. Even you can, because I don't want to say as a teacher, I don't want to say neglect this, I don't want to tell. But you be perfect in this area. Let's start with multi-threading here. So let us go to a small diagrammatic representation. I will take it. Paint, I'll take. Carefully try to follow. So this is my computer. Very clear. Be careful. Try to understand. This is my computer. In this computer, so my computer. In this, I have OS. In this computer, I have OS. So the moment when you buy the laptop, it comes with OS and some apps will come. So in that, this is my OS, which is a centralized part here. Windows OS I'm having. Carefully try to follow. Windows OS I'm having. There I'm having, in this place, I'm opening Python. Python ideally I'm opening. PyCharm I'm opening. I'm opening Oracle. I'm opening MySQL. I'm opening Paint. I'm opening Edit Plus. I'm opening one media player also I'm opening. So here only you need to get the clarity. Python command prompt I am using, and Python ideally I am using. Python ideally I am using. Next I am using here PyCharm. PyCharm I am using is an IDE. There I am using Oracle. Here I am using Oracle. There I am using MySQL. There I am using MySQL. There I am using something like Paint. I'm using Paint. I'm using Paint. Here I am using one media player. Media player I am using. There next I am using something like I'm using something like Edit Plus. I'm using it. These many number of things I opened. These are all called different apps. So what is happening in this case is the centralized location element is called what? What is the centrally located element is called here? Windows OS. And different type of OSs and different type of apps are there. And what Windows OS will do? Simultaneously is the word here. Spell out once. Simultaneously. So coming to the point back, Windows OS provides services simultaneously to Python command prompt. To Python command prompt, it will provide the services, and it will provide the services simultaneously. Every app which you opened it, the word I am using simultaneously is the word called what? Concurrency also. What do you mean by concurrency? Executing all at once is called what? Concurrency. Concurrency is also known as what? Simultaneous. Also called parallel processing. Simultaneous, concurrency, parallel processing are the synonyms of what? Concurrent execution. two types of executions are there. One is called sequential execution. One more is called concurrent execution. One is called concurrent execution. One more is called sequential execution. What do you mean by sequential execution? Executing one after the other is called sequential execution. Executing all at once is called concurrent execution. So how you can do concurrent execution in the software field? That is going to be the basic aim of our industry that can be implemented by the concept of what? Multi-threading. Of course, why I said multi-threading is only product based, not at project based, because all the technologies which are available in the real world are already containing what? Multi-threading. Take an example of your Gmail, you take it. Gmail is an app which is available at where? Gmail is an app which is available at where? In the server, and you people are using that type of application everywhere else. And how people are accessing? One by one or all at once? That Gmail app, how people are using? All at once or one by one? So many, only one. You are completely out of order. And I thought that you are having some knowledge. No knowledge. So coming to the point of it, Gmail is one which is used by some crores of people. Are they using one after the other or all at once? All at once. One app is used by all at once. The apps which are present in your mobile, are all using what? One by one or all at once? All at once we are using. That is known as what? All the requests are processed by single server only. So that is the main context here. Here also same. I hope you are supposed to follow this. Windows OS is a software which is providing a separate flow for providing the services to Windows command prompt, providing a separate flow for providing separate flow for what? PyCharm, and providing separate flow for all these kind of apps, providing simultaneously this type of services. These type of services are providing all at once, simultaneously, concurrently to all the apps which I opened it. This is known as what here? What is this concept is making you to understand in OS level. If you are a computer science student, this is known as what? Multitasking we can call. Multitasking. You might be studied in your college level, multitasking OS here. What do you mean by multitasking? Performing all the operations simultaneously. When you come to the programming languages, this multitasking is simply called as what? Programming languages. When you come to this programming languages, this type of concept is brought on the name of what? Multi-threading. This is brought on the name of what? Multi-threading. So multitasking of OS is brought into the programming languages on the name of what? Multi-threading. So how this Windows OS is providing the services? One by one or all at once? All at once. All at once is providing. This all at once is provided. How it is providing? A separate flow is created for providing the services for command prompt. A separate flow is created. For every app, separate flow is created. This separate flow is known as what? Thread we can call. So few terminologies I want to make you to understand in my class. Spell out that. Thread. Spell out. Thread. What is a thread? What is the thread? A flow of control is called thread. Spell out. A flow of control is called thread. Windows OS has providing lot of flows for every app. Gmail is a single server, contains a single app, which is providing multiple apps, multiple flows to every customer who is logged in. Right? Whether you followed or not. because by seeing your faces, I understood that you did not catch me. I will take your example. The best example, I will take it. Okay, which is suitable to you. So otherwise, my example will bounce. This is yours. You are here. You are there. This is your. How is your brain is working? I'm telling you. Your brain is the best example for multi-threading, and this is yours. What are you doing in my class? This is your. What are you doing in my class? You tell me. What are you doing in my class? You tell me quickly. You are. Come on. You are listening the class. Are you listening or not? Listening. I know some of them are watching on the board only with eyes and all those things, but brain is not functioning. Listening, only watching. Sir is taking which color, red or green or like that. That is one thing. Understanding with the brain, something different like that. If all students will read well, how the things. Morning, one student, Nagendra Babu, is one student is coming to my class. Today only I come to know. Actually, that chart was there up to 4 o'clock. I was kept. When I want to show you, because I by mistake I removed that. He is from Trichy, NIT, you know, NIT, Trichy. This is one of the popular college and top two, top three colleges. He is there in my Python class, Nagendra Babu. He is how he come to his my class, and there is one story is that he said that, and I read today, and that's why I'm showing to everybody because I need not to show you that by mistake I removed it. So I'm telling to you. So being an NIT student, top colleges he is studying, and they are teaching the subject half of only they are teaching. Half of means what? 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2. Half teaching, half not teaching. What is that is equal to 0. Is in third year or fourth year, I don't know. He did not say. Maybe I think he's a third year. A course is going on, sir, he said. Then he is facing that issue. What about other things? NIT student. And the top is IIT, NIT, triple IT. Later, this entire other, I don't want to name it. Even 1 lakh seat rank is also coming. MSET colleges, he will get seat in Telugu states, in everywhere in other states also. So by seeing that what they will do, even English also problem. That's why try to get it. So how I asked what is your percentage of getting in my class? Really speaking, the words which he used, I don't want to boost it. So the difference between his lectures in that and our lectures. Sir, if they follow your notes and read well, and if you go, whatever the companies we are getting in our NIT, they'll get minimum 25 lakhs package, sir, they are getting it. Minimum 25 lakhs. So his target is that only. That's why he is taking my classes. So try to get it. Don't waste your time. Listening, number one. Next, what are you doing? Next, what are you doing? Listening. Next ఏం చేస్తున్నారా మీరు? Next, what are you doing? Seeing. Thakur, Ganesh is saying. Seeing on the screen. Seeing on the screen. Listening and seeing, is both of them at a time or one by one? At a time. Listening and seeing. During listening, are you closing your eyes? Or during seeing, are you closing your ears? How you are listening and seeing? At a time or one by one or at a time? At a time. What it is called? Simultaneous, parallel, concurrency. Now, after that, what are you doing? After that, what are you doing? Quick. After that, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you responding or not? Responding. Responding also will be done seeing and listening and responding. Responding also will be done one after the other or all at once. Seeing, listening, and then next after that, what are you doing? Next, what are you doing? Come on, what are you doing? Understanding. Understanding or not? Understanding. So, understanding, responding, seeing, listening, all of them done once, one by one, once only. Next, what are you doing? Taking breath or not? Taking breath or not? Are you taking breath after 5 minutes or simultaneously taking? After listening, after responding, understanding, are you taking breath after 1 hour? Taking breath continuously or not? These operations are what operations? All at once, one by one, all at once. And you are going to say something. In middle of it, you are laughing also. So laughing also, listening, seeing, understanding, responding, taking breath, all these things. Sometimes you are moving also, hands moving and legs moving. You are doing moving also. Is it all at once taking a one by one taking a all at once? Any disturbance in giving this type of things? No. Each work is done by itself only. So your brain is built your superpower in such a way that it can do all these works at the same time. It can do all these works at the same time. How to write a program for this? That is the aim of multi-threading. The way that is created a separate for flow for listening, the way which the separate flow is created for seeing, the way which is created for responding, the way which is created for understanding, the way which is created a flow for taking breath, the way which is created for taking laughing and moving, all these things are what? Done at the same time. These things are known as what? Multi-threading purpose. What is the aim of multi-threading? Performing multiple operations concurrently, simultaneously is known as what? Multi-threading. As a teacher, what I am doing in the class? You just tell me. I am typing, I am teaching, I am observing you, I am observing chart window, I am taking my mouse, I am drawing, selecting the color, doing lot of things. All at once, one by one. What I am applying, what my brain is doing? Concurrency, simultaneous, parallel mechanism. I think you are understanding. You are booking a railway ticket across the nation all at once or one by one. Whenever they need, there is a chance of booking the seats online at the same time or not. These are all known as what? Concurrency is required. So to do the concurrency, we are using what? Multi-threading. So what is the multi-threading purpose? What is the multi-threading purpose? To get what execution? Concurrent execution. To get concurrent execution. To get concurrent execution. Multi-threading is used to get what? Concurrent execution. What is meant by concurrent? Simultaneous. Parallel is called concurrent execution. There are two things are there. Sequential, concurrent. Sequential, concurrent. First year completed, second year completed, third year. That is known as what? Sequential. What is meant by concurrent execution? Simultaneous execution. Parallel execution is known as what? Is known as what? Multi-threading purpose. So here two terms, simple three terms are there. What is the definition of thread? What is the definition of thread? A flow of control. A flow of control is called what? Is called what? Thread. Is called thread. Thread. A flow of control is called what? Thread. A flow of control is called thread. What is the purpose of thread? What is the purpose of thread? Tell me. Each thread, say in your brain, a separate flow is created for listening, a separate flow is created for seeing, a separate flow is responding. Like that, different people are going to do different things. And your best way is what? When you are going in the bike, you will see other people, you observe it. What they will do? Seeing the phone and driving. Seeing the phone and driving. Talking to the friends and then driving. These days, when I'm observing, everybody is talking in the traffic only. I see to whom he is speaking. Keeping something is going on speaking. Somebody will shout. Somebody will laugh. Somebody will go and fighting in the mobile only. Driving the bike itself. To whom that person will hit, we don't know. So what is that? That are all called general examples of what? Concurrency. So what is the concurrency meaning? Simultaneous execution, concurrent execution are the examples of multi-threading. Following? When you are going on the way, what are you doing? Tell me. When you are just going on the way, you just tell me what are you doing? Are you walking or not? And one flow is created by your brain. Number two, what are you doing? You are seeing a road, you are seeing. Number two. Number three, what are you doing next? Thinking something in the brain. Thinking or not? Yes. That is known as what here? That is known as what again? It's going to be called what? Another flow of control. Next, if somebody looks nice left side or right side or back side, will you watch that or not? Again, you will do. See how many. While going, you will not keep quiet. You will eat some samosa, jalebi, something pani puri, etc. You will eat. While eating, you will think something also. These are all called what? Different type of what? Simultaneous operations. So what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Purpose of thread is, now come on, to perform, come on, to perform an operation. To perform an operation, sir, to perform an operation. Actually, operations are performed by what? Functions. Functions, correct or not? From now onwards, I am linking function with something. From now onwards, remember, who will execute the function? Tell me. Who will execute the Python program? PVM, good. PVM, nice. Inside the PVM, by default, one thread will present. Inside the PVM, one thread will present. That thread only will execute our function. So who will execute the function? Actually, thread, which is initiated by whom? PVM. Simple. You are writing the notes with what? Come on, pen. Wrong answer, that is. You are not writing the notes with pen. Take your pen once. Take your pen. Pen is there. Remove the, open the pen. Opening the pen. See the pen. See the pen. You are writing the pen with what? Pen or refill? You are writing the notes with pen or refill? Pen only. It is a structure. Inside what is there? Refill is there. That refill is called what? Thread. Pen is called what? PVM. You are writing the notes with pen, but pen is not. Inside the pen, what is there? Refill. Inside the PVM, there is a thread is there. Actual meaning is that only. Are you writing pen? No, you are writing the notes with refill which is present in the thread. You are performing the operation whose logic written in the function with the thread of PVM. When I go to an interview, who will execute the function? I will tell an answer. Function executed by the thread, which is by default initiated by PVM. So what interview will ask? What is PVM? What is thread? What is the function? I will answer all the three. Because if I know the subject, I can tell in any way to the interviewer. If you don't know anything, you will say your academic answers. Academic answers, sir, I don't want to say that. That are something great answers. No job will be coming, only memo will come. Because of memo coming, what will happen, students? What will happen? Present days, what will happen? Nothing will happen. Correct or not? Fine. Coming to the point of it, thread, a flow of control is called thread. Purpose of thread is to perform the operation whose logic written inside of what? Function. Inside of a function whose logic written inside of a function. So who will execute the function from now onwards? Thread. That thread is by default present in where? PVM. That thread name is called main thread. That thread name is called main thread. Carefully follow. Whether it's a sensitive topic. What is the name of the thread? Main thread. I'll show the name and I will execute the code also. So what is the main thread? How many threads are present by default in the Python program? One thread will present. What is its name? If I have four functions executed by main thread, one by one only. That is known as what? Sequential execution. What is that execution called? Execution. What is the definition of thread? Flow of control is called thread. What is the purpose of thread? To perform an operation whose logic inside the function. What I am doing in the class? I am explaining. One flow is created by my brain to explain my concept clearly. One more brain created by my brain to see the students who are listening. One more thread is created by my brain to see the chart window. One more thing is created in my brain to write the data in the typing and everything. These are all called multiple flows are running in my brain or not. This is known as what? Multiple controls are there in a single program to do multiple operations. It will give you what? Less time to perform more operations. That is known as what? Simultaneous execution. Did you understand? All the mobile apps, why they are giving mobile apps? Why banking people started ATMs? Why? Parallel processing. When you go to bank to withdraw the money, you have to stand in the line or not. In olden days, that was a system. Later, ATMs are kept. Because of that, what is happening? They put their services distributed. Because of the distribution of the services, what is happening? Parallel processing is going on. So everybody is getting the services on the spot or not. So that is known as what? Multi-threading services. If you want to reserve a ticket earlier, you have to go to definitely central bus stop. You have to make reservations. Now you can make a reservation from my mobile also. Everywhere else apps are coming. That apps development, the people are using apps across the world is called what? Simultaneous processing. Are you able to get me? So the total world is running on what? Concurrent execution. First, this word you adopt it. What is concurrency? Simultaneous execution is called concurrency. Which programming topic will provide? Multi-threading. Understood? C language, C++ programming languages are called only single-threaded programming language. By default, it contains only one thread, which will execute all the functions one by one, like our normal program by default. By default, our Python program also contains how many threads? Only one thread, which will execute our functions one by one only. That's why these are called what? Process-based applications we can call. Single-threaded modeling languages we can call. They will take what time to execute? More time to take. Simple. You have 4 works are there in a day. 4 works. You are only available. You are supposed to do 4 works one by yourself only. Each work taking 1 hour. How many hours you will take to complete? 4 hours you will take to complete. Understood this? Now, actually, you are calling immediately 4 friends you are calling. And each friend is allotted one work. How many hours they will finish? 1 hour. That 4 friends are called what? Subthreads. Tell me. Subthreads. What is the use of each thread? Performing the operation, which is written in the function. Getting me or not? That 4 friends are called what? Subthreads. That subthread creation possible only in Python. Subthread creation not possible in where? C, C++ languages. That's why those languages are called what? Sequential execution languages or process-based languages are. Next is called what? Thread-based applications. No. Single-threaded modeling languages, process-based applications we can call. Thread-based applications means what? I can create subthreads. I will create. Python is permitted. How to create a subthread, sir? How to create a subthread? How do you create an object? Threading dot. What is this now? Thread off. Threading dot thread off. Threading dot thread off. What is this T1? What is this threading? First of all, module. Module. What is the definition of module? A module is a collection of what? Global variables, function names, class names. Thread is also one class whose object I am creating. T1, one flow of control is created. Why I created one flow of control? to do one operation. T2 is equal to what I am doing. T2 is equal to what I am doing. Again, I will do threading dot what I am doing. Thread. Thread off I am doing. This is called one more kind of thread. One more kind of object. T2 is equal to threading dot thread off. T1, T2, T3 are called what? Subthreads. Why I created subthreads? Because to perform multiple operations at the same time. So Python is which language? Thread-based application. Programmatically, Python is which language? Thread-based. By default, Python is what? Process-based. Because by default, how many threads are present? Only one thread is present. Two things here. By default, programmatic. By default, how many threads are there? Only one thread. That is called which language? Process-based. Which will execute what? One by one. Takes what time? More time. Treated as a heavyweight component. Heavyweight means taking more time. I'll show the time also to measure. I will show the measurement of the time also. Thread-based applications means what? I have 4 functions are there. 4 threads I will create. Each thread is meant for one function they will execute. Those sub-threads are known as what? Subthreads. Behind the subthread, one thread is there, which will monitor these subthreads, which is known as what? Main thread. Are you following? Best example. In my class, I am a main thread. You are my subthreads. Each person is doing one task, one code you are writing. If myself only write the total code, it takes a lot of time or not? If I allot my students do this code, do that code, etc. If I give, they will write the code parallelly and they will submit the code for me. Are you able to follow? So here, how many types of languages? 2. One is process-based, thread-based. Process-based applications contains how many threads? Single thread. That single thread only will execute the functions one by one. That will take what time? More time. That is known as what? Heavyweight applications we can call. Now, examples are what? C, C++, etc. languages. Now come to Python. Python by default belongs to which language? Process-based only. But I want to go for what? Process-based means only one thread. What is its name? Main thread. I'll show you that example also. I'm covering the first concept. With the concept, I'll show the coding. With only one thread, there is no use. I have to execute my functions one by one. Takes a lot of time. But I want to execute my functions all at once. For that, what I will create? Subthreads I will create. Subthreads creation in Python is easy or difficult? Easy. How to create? Create an object of thread class. Create an object of employee, student, list, dict, tuple. How you are creating? Like that, I will create using thread class. T1, T2, T3 are called what? Subthreads. Why are you creating subthread? To perform the operation simultaneously. 4 functions are there. 4 threads I'm creating. I'll dispatch them all at once. They will go for what? Executing all at once and giving the final result. Here, finally, Gmail is one application. 20 people at a time send a request for username, password. 20 flows will create for 20 people. The 20 flows are called what? Threads. Which threads? Subthreads. Each subthread is giving the service to every user. Understood that? That is which technology, which concept used in Gmail? Threading they used it. If you go for learning Django, Django by default what? Thread-based technology. Java you take it. Java is by default what? Thread-based technology. Actually, threading is very difficult. That's why they written the thread-based technology in the languages itself they written. But why I am telling this topic? Because when you go to tomorrow some big company, they will ask these questions. That time you must have this knowledge. That's what I'm saying. Otherwise, even if I don't introduce, you don't know that threading is available here. So that's why T3 is equal to what I'm doing now. Threading dot. What is this now? Thread off. So by default, how many threads are present, students? By default, 1. Programmatically, how many can present? Multiple. So in a Java, in a Python program, how many threads can be possible? 2. One main thread, subthread. Subthreads will execute what? Operational logic, which is written in the function. So functions in the program executed by what? Subthreads. If subthreads are present, Main program entry is executed by whom? Main thread. Did you understand? If I don't have any subthreads, who will execute that functions and everything, main program entries? Only that main thread only will execute all the functions one by one. Did you understand? Simple. You are only one, need to do 4 works. You are only one by one doing. If there are 4 friends are there, 4 friends will do 4 different operations. I hope you got a clarity. So what is this conclusion? Coming to that, yes, ma, Rajneet, I'm going to come. I'm going to come. I'll execute the coding and I'll tell you. So coming to the point of it, now I'm going to enter. Students, is it clear? So I'm going to show you the coding. Try to understand first. First of all, is my concept is clear? Is my concept is clear? First you respond it. So I'm going to show you small discussion here. Try to follow me. First a small discussion I need to start. So I'm going to enter into the types of application. Come on, read out quickly. Don't take much time. The purpose of multi-threading is that to provide a concurrent execution, simultaneous execution, or parallel execution. Meaning is what? Executing all at once. Next, in industry, we have 2 types of applications or languages. They are process-based applications, thread-based applications. First one, process-based applications. Process-based applications contains single thread. Next, process-based applications provides sequential execution. Process-based applications takes more execution time. Process-based applications are treated as heavyweight components. Heavyweight components. Examples are C, C++. What is the meaning of heavyweight? Any program takes more time. That is known as what? Heavyweight. Heavyweight. A person is having 200 kgs weight. Want to make it to walk for 500 meters. It will take a lot of time or not. A person who is lean, ask him to quickly go. That is called what? Lightweight component. Right? Don't tell that example. Anything takes more execution time. It is treated as what? Heavyweight component. Go to what next? Thread-based application. Thread-based applications contains by default single thread. And programmatically we can create multiple threads. Thread-based applications provides both a sequential as well as concurrent. Because of single thread provides what? Because of multiple threads provides what? Concurrent. Thread-based applications takes less execution time. That is, thread-based applications are treated as lightweight components. Clear or not clear? Clear. So Python, Java, C#, .NET, etc. are called what? Right. Let me show you some small examples for you. Some small thing, process-based, some small example diagrams I want to show. Because you are very small kids now. That's why. Kid level example I want to tell you. So come to the point of it. All of you students, C++ programming environment. What is this line is called? Single thread. Coming to what this is? Function call. Function call. Go to where? Definition. C language code. Execute it. And coming back to what? Next function call. Go to what? Next function call. Next go to the function call. Execute it. And again coming to this place. This is known as what? Single execution. Sequential execution we can call. Are you able to follow me? Yes. Process-based application contains what? Single thread, provides a sequential execution, takes what? More execution time, treated as what? Heavyweight component, C, C++, etc. or comes under process-based applications. Clear or not clear? Clear. Coming to next one more thing. What is this now? One more thing. Thread-based application I am talking. Very, very important. Python I am talking. See the diagram. Very, very powerful example here. See that. What is this now? Python execution environment. See this side. What is this? Default Python environment. Programming Python environment. The programmatic Python environment. By default, what is available? You see. By default, what is available? PVM. starts its execution. Initiates, come on, thread. What is its name? Main thread. Main program I am talking. Sum, sub, multiplication. These are all called what? Function calls. Start. Sum function will go to where? Main thread will go to sum, executed. Sub, executed. Mul, executed. Div, executed. This is known as what? Main thread. Which execution? Sequential execution. Takes what time? More time. This is which environment? Default environment. How many threads present? One thread. I'll show the coding. I will count the number of threads. I'll show the flow also. Whatever I'm speaking, I'll show the coding. Coming to what next? Programmatic environment. What is present? Main thread will present. Subthreads will present. Meant for what purpose? Come on. PVM initiates which thread? The main thread itself through coding you are mentioning. What is this? Subthread 1 for which purpose? Subthread 2 for which purpose? Subthread 3 for which purpose? Subthread 4 for div. So these are all 4 functions are there. How many threads created? 4 threads created. Main thread will execute the statements written in which program? Main program, and monitors the execution status of which threads? Subthreads. And subthreads are those which are executing functions or methods. So in a program in our Python program, how many sections we are dividing? Functional area, functions area, main program area. So our PVM starts executing from which area onwards? Main program. In the main program, which thread will initiate first? Main thread. Main thread will initiate what? Subthreads, because I am writing the code. Those subthreads will go to which area? Functional area. Those functional area will be executing and giving the result to whom? Main thread. And main thread will receive the result and then give that. And subthreads are executing. I will destroy those subthreads deleted by garbage collector by calling its destructor. Did you understand? So this is about left side you see default environment, right side you see that is called programmatic environment. Coming to back, now I'm going to take up this part you understood. There you go for it. One small thing I'm opening. Introduction to thread-based application. Start understanding everybody. The purpose of multi-threading is that to provide a concurrent or simultaneous or parallel execution. Concurrent execution is nothing but executing the operations all at once. The advantage of concurrent execution is that to get less execution time. If the Python program contains multiple threads, then it is called multi-threading program. Concurrent execution is nothing but executing all operations at a time. Advantage of concurrent execution is always less time. That is the present industry is working parallelism. Correct or not? Yes. Definition of what? Thread. What is the definition of thread? Flow of control is called a thread. Purpose of thread is that to perform certain operation whose logic developed in functions or methods. Why functions? Functional programming. Why methods? Object-oriented programming. Concurrently. For that, I am going to create the thread. Now, by default, every Python program contains a single thread whose name is main thread, and it provides sequential execution. Programmatically, in a Python program, we can create multiple sub or what? Child threads. Subthreads are nothing but child threads, whose purpose is that to execute operations whose logic written in functions or methods concurrently. Hence, Python program contains 2 types of threads. They are main thread, sub or child threads. Main thread is initiated by PVM when program execution starts. And the role of main thread is to execute main program statements and monitor the execution status of subthread if subthreads present. I'll show you the total code. The subthreads always executes the operation whose logic written in functions are methods concurrently. This is an introduction part. Up to here, I hope you followed me. Followed up? Online students, respond everybody. Now I'm going to the coding. Now I'm going to the coding. Online students respond. This is called the coding. Now I'm going to talk about program for showing default thread name. Default thread present in present in which program? Python program. Easy. See students, or you follow me easily. In Python, every Python program contains what? One thread is present. That thread name I am printing. How do you print the thread name? There is a function is present. What is the function name? Current underscore thread. Every function belongs to what? Course is about to complete. Course is about to complete. Still you don't know. Mala join out. Again you rejoin. Be with me all the years together. Tell me. Current thread belongs to what module? This module is called threading. Threading dot what? Threading. Threading dot current thread. Current thread is a function belongs to what? Threading module. Up to that you try to understand. Other thing you don't worry about it. Dear students, you don't worry about the next one. Print of default thread name. Default thread name. You don't worry about other thing, comma, T name I am writing. Where I am trying to write it, import what? Threading. You already well aware of it, threading, module importing and all, threading dot. So I'm going to print it, default thread. So default thread example.py. Default thread example.py. Save this code, go to the place. Here I'm going to write it 6 p.m. and I'm creating a folder, threads. There I will take up default thread name. All the things, whatever I discussed it, I'm showing the coding for you. CMP, CMD. You try to execute in PyCharm. Anywhere you execute, you'll get the same answer what I'm showing. E colon CD, KVR, Python, 6 p.m. And there we are going to take it. Threads I'm taking. You execute PY, that thread name. What is the thread name? Main thread. What is the main thread? Default thread name is present in the Python program. I will write it one more. Print of by default number of threads in Python program. Number of threads in Python program by default. So default number of threads, default number of threads in Python program is equal to comma number of threads, number of NOTH. For that, NOTH is equal to threading dot. For everything there is a function. Threading dot. Come on, active underscore count. Actually, by this time it is very easy for you. Active underscore count. Spell out. Will give you what? Number of threads are actively running. Number of threads are actively running. Easy. Nothing difficult. Save the write it. So NOTH. Execute. You will get what? 1 you will get it. More than enough. So somebody will ask me, how do you prove that there is only one thread is available in Python program? I'll write this code. How do you print that there is one? What is the name of the thread? I'll write this code. Clear or not clear? Clear. Now I'm going to enter into another part here. Very, very easy. This is called one thing here. Online students, am I clear about this? Am I clear about this logic? So here I used two things. Again, I will explain. That is, I have separate discussion. Functions in which module? Threading module. Separately, I will explain what is current thread, how it is internally working and all. And that is very, very simple today. Now I'll go to one more thing. One more example I will show you. What is that? Program for showing internal execution process of internal flow of internal flow of what? Main thread. DE of welcome. DE of welcome. Print of welcome function executed by, I'll write it, colon, comma, don't worry about it, threading dot, current underscore thread, current underscore thread, thread of, not what I am writing, name I am writing. This is called line number 400. Why? Because I will go for importing thread also. Import what? Thread. Threading. Line number 4, importable. Welcome function is printed or not? Similarly, I will write it. One more function I will write it. What is this now? Hello function. Hello function line number 7. Hello function executed by this one I am writing. So here I am writing hi function executed by, here I am writing executed by current thread underscore name. Are you following me? How many functions? 3. Coming to main program. There I am writing, here I am writing program execution started. Okay. Line number 13. What are you doing? Here? So here I am going to take up. So here, this is extra line. Okay. So here I am writing program execution started. What are you doing? Welcome off. Program execution started at which line? Line number 13. Executed by, what I am writing? I am writing threading dot what name? Current thread. So I am writing that. What is an answer printed? Main thread only. What is the function you are calling? Welcome. Welcome means what? Main thread will go to welcome function or not? Line number 4. This is printed. Welcome function is printed by what? Main thread only. Again, in coming back to where? Line number 15. Line number 15, what are you printing? Line number 15. Just only for your understanding. What is the next printing? Hello. It will go to where? Hello. Line number 7. Hello executed by same thread. Line number 17. 17. What is happening? Hi function. Again, hi function will go there and printing. And next is line number 18. Line number 18 is nothing but ending only. I am going to take up. Program execution is ended by, started by that, ended by that. Other functions also executed by what? Main thread only. By default, it will execute main program entries plus functions also, because there is a single thread is available. See students, here I am writing default thread flow example.py. Very great, very beautiful clarity will be coming with the subject. So go to the place, here I am writing execute py, got it. What happens? Where is the comma? Comma, okay. Comma, okay. Execute and see students, answers you see. Line number 13, program execution started. Line number 4, welcome function executed by main thread. Line number 15, went to line number 7 executed by main thread. Line number 17, line number 4, hi executed by main thread. Line number 13, program execution ended. Are you following? 13 entadi. Line number 20. Line number 20 adi. Line number 20. See that line number 20. Program execution ended by main thread. I hope you are following. So all these functions are executed by which thread? Main thread. It is called which flow? Single flow, process based. Getting or not getting? So if you still don't get it, better to take your luggage and go to Himalayas. So online students, are you following me? So this is called a sequential. So I think you are following me. This is more clear. So go to the further place. This is what you got it. Now I want what? What I want? With a programmatic approach, I want to go for it. How simple it is. Let us go to the programmatic approach. With the timing, good చూపిస్తాను. With the timing, I want to show you. Look at. So here what? Subthreads flow. Subthread flow example. Subthread flow example. Showing internal flow of main thread. Main thread with what? Main thread with subthreads. With the subthreads. Okay, not an issue. Here I'm writing like this. Welcome function. Main program entries to be executed by which thread only? Which thread only? Main thread only. Subthreads will execute what? Functions. How many functions I am having? 3. I'll call my 3 friends, I will call. So who is that friends here? I am going to call it RS, something like a T1 is equal to T1. What is the T1? Object. Threading dot, threading. Actually, I need to write like this. What is that? Thread of. Thread is a class. Thread is a class. Every class of Python belongs to module. Which module? Threading. Threading module dot of this T1 is targeted to execute what? Welcome. So every thread is supposed to target. I will write it thread of. There is a keyword argument you need to mention. Target is equal to. Target is equal to. Which target? Which function you want to execute by T1 is equal to welcome. You need to mention name of the function you must specify. That means T1 is targeted to execute what? Welcome. Welcome. So here I need to write. Line number 15. Next is called what? Similarly, I'll go to what? See how I am doing that. T2 is equal to threading dot. What is this now? Hello. Hello. And the next is what is here? I will write it. T3 is equal to what? Hi. What is this? Welcome, hello, hi are called function names. Function names. What is T1? Object. What is T2? What is T3? T1 and T2 or T3 are called subthread objects. They have internally some name. They have internally some name. Here T1, T2, T3 are what? Subthread objects. They have internally some name. Whose names are what? Here I'll write it. Here T1 is object name, subthread object. Subthread object whose name is thread-0. Thread-0. Here T1 is subthread object whose name is thread-0. Thread-0. Next is called what? Here T2 is subthread whose name is thread-1. This is called what again? Here T3 is what? Object name. Object name. Subthread object whose name is what? 2. Thread-0, thread-1, thread-2. Are you following? Once you are creating the threads, you are supposed to tell execute. Bus is there. You put a bus in the bus stop. Seats are filled up. You targeted to go to some district. After bus is full, what you will do? What you will do? Start. That controller of the bus depot says start. So for here also, after you are creating the threads, you need to dispatch. You need to dispatch. Dispatching is nothing but sending. So dispatch online students, dispatch the subthreads to the dispatch the subthread to the target functions. Target functions. How do you do? T1 dot start, T2 dot start, T3 dot start. What is the start? Is an instance method present in which class? thread class. Instance methods will be calling with respect to object name. Already we discussed that. So start, you are saying, once start is saying, they will go to T1 will go here, T2 will go here, T3 will go. Who will execute the main program? Main thread. Who will execute the subprograms? Subthreads. Subprograms are nothing but functions only. Are you following? Dear students, for some small technique is concerned, you don't bother about it. You don't bother about it. What I am writing, you don't least bother about it. I will explain tomorrow class. I wrote dot join, dot join, dot join. Only thing is this is to be ended by what? Main thread. In middle of it, who is coming? Subthreads execution started. Carefully follow students. Subthreads flow. With the timing, next example with the timing I will show. Carefully watch it. So here I am writing PY. Here it is written. See my dear students. Program execution started. Line number 15, 17 went which thread? Thread 1, thread 2, thread 3. And what is happening? Program execution ended by what? Main thread. Started by main thread. Middle of the subthreads are executing their respective functions. Are you following me? Earlier program you see everything is executed by main thread only. But here what? I'm dividing my work into different people. Each person is doing their own thing. Is it called internal flow? Are you understanding or not? These lines what I written, least bother. These lines what is written, least bother. If you want, you can say for your clarity purpose, you try to take like this. You try to take like this. Here I am writing. So here I am writing. End of this, you say this part. For your better understanding, I am saying, I put it in the form of something here. So see that in subthreads you see students, go to the place, default subthreads I'm going to. So this is called what? Line number 13, main thread. Line number 20, this one. In middle of it, what is happening? Subthread. Thread 1, thread 2, thread 3. You want to give your own names? You can give it, not an issue. How do you give it, students? T1 dot name is equal to RS. T2 dot name is equal to TR. T3 dot name is equal to DR. These are the three names I gave it. Three people are executing. Line number welcome function executed by RS, DR, and TR. Clear or not clear? So I'm dividing my program into different pieces. Understood? Online students, clear or not clear? Whatever I said in the concept part, I'm giving my own things. Giving the name to your thread. Giving the name to your thread. Are you there, students? Online students, are you there? So I think you are following me. So I think you are sleeping or what, I don't know. So coming to the point back, try to be responsible. If you are not responding, I'm not going to call you again and again. So this is about what? Subthread internal flow. Timing I am going to show you. Timing. I'm going to show you the timing. So let us start the point here. One more example I'm going to tell you. Another example I'm going to tell you. So that program is now going to enter. Program for showing internal flow of main thread with time, with execution time, execution flow of main thread only with execution time. So here main thread execution time, dot py. Beautiful. DE of squares of LST. Squares, it's a very great example. Pass. DE of cubes of LST of pass. What I'm getting is main program I'm getting. Here I'm going to get it. Here I'm going to get it. Program execution started. Like I'll remove this line numbers. Anyhow, you understood the name. I'm going to take it, students. What is that? LST is equal to some 12 comma 3 comma 5 comma 16 comma minus 6 comma something like 17 comma 19 comma 4 comma some 12 comma, of course 12 is there, 13 comma some 45. This is my data. For that I want to calculate the square of every number of this. I will call it as a squares. Squares. This is my function. Squares. 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 What is I am passing? LST. It will go here. I want to print it. How do you print it? Print. Thread name I will print. And I will print what? Square of. I will write it here. Is equal to. I'll write it here. Dot format of. I'll write, of course, for value in LST. For value in LST, students. For value in LST, I will take it as what? Value comma value star star 2, value star star 2. To show you some rhythmic answer, time dot sleep of what? 1 second. Already you know what is the time. What is this now? Import, threading, 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 comma what? Time. I'll print value, comma value. Here I will write it threading dot thread dot name. Here I'll write it, comma threading dot name. This answer will be going for this first one. This value will go for second one. Value star star 2 will go for this. This will come after each and every second. Similarly, I will take up this logic, remove the pause, and I'll write it. Here I am going to write it. Star star 3, sleep of 1, done. The following. Call it as which function? Cubes of what? LST. And then program execution ended. Program execution ended. Here I am writing program execution ended. You are getting it. But I want to measure the execution time. So squares and cubes are executed by which function only? Which function only? Which thread only? Main thread only will execute. Here I am going to give you. Here I am going to give you some separation. So main thread only will execute squares, main thread only will execute the cubes. So I want to go for executing. Line number 20, of course, just you remove it. Program execution ended by. Program execution started by. You measure the time. What is the meaning of time? Before starting, record the time. Ending of that, record the time. Beginning time is equal to time dot time. Time is a module. Time of is recording the system time in terms of milliseconds. And at the same time, take this one at the end also. What is this now? ET. What time I come to the class? 6:10. Record it in BT. What time I will complete? Record in ET. Take ET minus BT is equal to total execution time of my program. Okay, I'm writing here. What is this now? Execution time of this program. Execution time of the program. Execution time of the program without subthreads. Execution time of the program with only which thread? Main thread. With only main thread. Without what? Subthreads. Comma. What is that? ET minus what? BT. Clear or not clear? Execute. Online students. I hope you are following or not. I don't know. Execute. Coming to this stage. PY. See. What happens? What happens? Close. Close. Voice not coming. Voice not coming. Voice is clearly coming. See that. Coming to the point. Here you see. Main thread is showing the result. Main thread is giving the squares. After that, squares. Actually, it is not squares. It is a cubes. I need to change the word called squares to cubes. So here, what is ET minus BT? ET minus BT, don't know. I said my time started at 6:10. That is called BT, beginning time. what is ETBT and I'm getting one thing. When we were the student, there is one small joke is there. What you are doing? My sir asked one thing. What are you doing? He asked one question to one student. So he is not saying anything. He said he himself said something like he said ETBT. ETBT. He only said, our sir only said, are you doing ETBT course? ఇంట్లో తిని బయట తిరగడం. Hindi students will not understand. Eating in home, roaming outside. Telugu related abbreviated form it is. Eating in home, roaming outside. That is English sentence I converted, but that is something different. Coming to the point of it, what is the time taken here? 20.0, etc. This is the time is taken. Are you following that? See that emoji symbols and all, don't worry. First you understand the subject. They have done PhD in the emoji symbol. Because of emoji symbols, nothing will come. You listen the subject. We are all diverting towards what? Wrong things. So, because they are using mouse and they will click some symbol. Because they are wasting their time searching emoji symbol, which emoji symbol. Is it necessary? Subject to understand. So, coming to the point of it, coming to the point back, here I am going to say, are you following me? Right. So, subject is supposed to understand. So, once explain timing again. Time. Before I am coming to the class, before program execution started, PVM will record the time. Time off will give you the milliseconds of my current system. Current system is having the timing or not? Timing is there or not? Including time. So time and everything is there in your system. That timing will be taken according to my system timing. Beginning time, what time it will take. Ending time. Ending time means when the program execution is over, ending time. For this also, this much time explaining, I can understand how beautiful, intelligent you have. Well, 24 years. ET minus BT, ending time minus beginning time. I started my class at 6:10, ending at some time. The difference is called total amount of time taken to execute or not. What is ET minus BT, sir? Are you following that? So done. So time off is a function in which module? Time module. So how this is executing? Functions called what? Main thread only will execute everything. This is already small execution I said. Already this is executed. That only I am measuring today with a timing. Execute. This is called what here? Cube. Cubes. Cube of. Execute. See. Execute this. All squares are coming now. Who is executing? Main thread only. Starting with the main thread. It went to squares. Executing. Next cube. Main went to where? Main thread went to cubes. It is also executing. Done. Execution time is what? 20.03 milliseconds is taken by my processor. Are you following me? This program I will do by using subthreads. I'm dividing this work. One person will do, one person will do. So if one person has taken 2. If I divide that work into 2 people, how much time? 10 seconds only they will execute. Easy now. Rather than doing 20, 2 people are doing 10 milliseconds, they will complete. Execute, copy, paste. First of all, we must be in the subject context. By roaming here and there, if you suddenly sitting in the class, you cannot connect to me. Before coming, you have to go for what? Reading the notes. So coming to this place, same main thread execution time. Here it is called what? Subthread. Subthreads execution time. Beautiful. Here, main thread, beginning time. I'm going to take it. Come on, what? T1 is equal to threading dot, thread of, target is equal to what? Square, and ARGS is equal to, comma, ARGS is equal to LST comma, because here we are passing the parameter. Earlier I did not pass the parameter. That's why I said what? I said what? Target is equal to welcome. No parameter is there. And I'm passing what today? Parameter is taking target is equal to squares, arcs is equal to LST. So when T1 is going to squares, it will carry what value also? LST it will carry. Are you following me? LST it will carry, and printing that. Which one will print thread name? Thread -0 will print T1, thread -0 will print. Are you following me? Suppose T1 dot name. This is printed by what? I'm telling to dot. I'm giving the name. Name is equal to what? Hemnath. Hemnath will do. Hemnath will do. Next is called what? Hemnath will do what? Squares. One more thread I will create. What is this now? T2 is equal to threading dot thread of target is equal to cubes, comma, arcs is equal to LST, comma. Why LST, comma? So LST, comma. Come to the point of it, LST, comma. Go to this place. Go to this place. Are you able to follow? Now, here I am going to write it. Done. This is a tuple notation. Beginning days we learned it. T2 dot. Here I am going to write it what? Done. ET dot. You have done it. E2 dot. T2 dot. T2 dot. What is this next? T2 dot. Name is equal to Rajneet. Rajneet is another student. Then I will go for what? T1 dot join. Don't worry. T2 dot join. Like that. Even in threading also I made it to sleep. Even in non-threading also I made it to sleep. This is doesn't matter anything. For seeing the clarity in the subject I am going to give you. So here I am going to give you, even in threading also I made it to sleep only. So here I am going to take up ET minus BT. I am going to say start the threads, dispatch the threads, dispatch the threads, dispatch the subthreads. I'm going to say T1 dot start, T2 dot start. Parallelly, they are executing in single PC. If you want a square, you can call in some terminal squares. If you want to call squares, cubes means another terminal. But I'm executing both of them in the same terminal, in the same program. That means we are getting the result by mixing the result, it will come. You have to see what results are coming or not, that you need to verify. So execute that. See this now. Go forward. Subthreads execution time. Run this code. Remember this time 20.py. See that answer now. See that Hemnath, Rajneet. Execution ended by main thread, beginning only it is coming. So that part I will change it. I will execute once again. See the timing now. 10.01. 10.01 where I am writing T1 executed by, ended by. This I need to write in the last part of it. Last part of it I need to write execution. Here I will write it. This I don't want to write it. This part I don't want to write it. Still that part will be written here, where I will write this part you remove. This is execution, end of the execution. Execution of the program with what? With what? Subthreads. With what? Subthreads. Subthreads. You execute it. See that now. So here, see the answers now. We are getting execution started by, execution ended with main thread only. That will print the last final time is printed. Final time is printed 10.01. What is the earlier time? 20 point. Which is the fastest applications? So subthreads కాదు ఇక్కడ మెయిన్ థ్రెడ్ బేస్డ్ అప్లికేషన్స్ ఆర్ లైట్ వెయిట్ అప్లికేషన్స్. సబ్థ్రెడ్స్ కాదు ముద్దబోగులు. సో subthread applications. So thread based applications are lightweight. Process based applications are what? Heavyweight. Heavyweight means what? More time. Lightweight means what? Less time. That is the topic here. Subthreads okay, but child level answer no. One matured answer you need to give it. So online students, I hope you people got my topic. So Akhil Gaud, that's what I said. Both of them, I made it to go for what? Sleeping. Both of them. For clarity in your understanding, I said. So I think you are understanding the importance of what? Why threads are nowadays we are using. Why threads are now? For fastest execution purpose. Total world is running on what? Thread-based applications only. Did you understand today's lecture? So tomorrow class when I come back, what is the time now? It is 7:36 completed. And today we understood thread-based application, process-based application. A small example is shown. And tomorrow when I come back, here I used one example. Functional programming only I written with the functions I wrote. Tomorrow class I will go for it. Veerana Gaud is asking, my dear student, Tulasi, join. I said I will explain tomorrow. I said I will explain tomorrow. I said I will explain how many threads we can create. So there is no limit. Suppose you go for Gmail. How many people can go for connecting at a time? How many flows? N number of flows. That is called a dynamism. There is no restriction provided. You can create any number of threads. Okay? Veerana Gaud, are you okay? So now tomorrow class when I come back, I will go for what? Number of functions present in threading module. I'll go for multiple threads, how to create also. I'll explain. Don't miss it. Very important concept. Okay, carry on. If any doubts are there, students, you can hold on. I'll talk to you. Okay, students, don't miss tomorrow class. Very, very important. Take care. So online students. Kaushal, sir, you told Python is a little bit slow and this multi-threading concept to overcome it. My dear student, multi-threading, no. The Python language itself is slow in executing. Multiple threads means programmatically I am writing multiple threads in an application. Overall application is little slow only. Overall application is little slow only. So I'm talking about the threads inside the code I am talking. This code is. So any more doubts, students? Anybody is having any doubt? You can raise your hands. I'll clarify. Arjun.
Am I audible, sir?
Arjun, audible. Arjun, tell me.
Sir, NumPys and Pandas class start అయిందా?
స్టార్ట్ అవుతుందమ్మా ఇప్పుడు ఈ బ్యాచ్ ఎండ్ అవ్వగానే మళ్ళీ స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది.
ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
ఓకే అమ్మా. Tulasi, runtime polymorphism, whatever the polymorphism I said in Python, that is the runtime polymorphism. Actually, it is a word coming from Java. Runtime polymorphism, static polymorphism. Actually, that also coming from C++. So Python runtime polymorphism, Python polymorphism is called runtime polymorphism only, dynamic polymorphism, not any of the other things. Okay, Tulasi. So Navneet Raju. Raju.
సార్ గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ సార్.
Good evening, Raju. Tell me.
సార్ ఇప్పుడు ఇవన్నీ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేసినాం కదా సార్, ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ ఓకే సార్, ఫ్లో అర్థమైంది, కానీ అందులో మెయిన్ థ్రెడ్ ఏంది, సబ్ థ్రెడ్ ఏందో కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవుతున్నా కొంచెం.
ఎందుకమ్మా ఇక్కడ చెప్పినా కదా, సబ్ థ్రెడ్ మీన్స్ క్రియేటింగ్ అన్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఆఫ్ థ్రెడ్ క్లాస్ T1.
అంటే ఒక ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తే అది సబ్ థ్రెడ్ సార్? అది
అంతే కదమ్మా.
మెయిన్ థ్రెడ్ అయితే ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేయవద్దు, డైరెక్ట్ కాల్ చేస్తాం.
ఉంటది, ఆల్రెడీ ఉంటది అందులో. టు ఫైండ్ అవుట్ దట్.
ఇప్పుడు
ఇంకా నేను రేపు చెప్తా కదా. చెప్పు.
ఇందులో ప్రతి ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో నేను థ్రెడ్ నేమ్ నాకు తెలవాలి, ఏ థ్రెడ్ అనేది తెలవాలంటే జస్ట్ థ్రెడ్ ఎట్లా
ప్రింట్ చేస్తున్నాం కదా, ఇక్కడ ప్రింట్ చేస్తున్నాం కదా, థ్రెడ్డింగ్ డాట్ కరెంట్ థ్రెడ్ డాట్ నేమ్.
ఏ థ్రెడ్ ఏ ఫంక్షన్ ఏ థ్రెడ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేస్తుంది అనేది మనం ప్రింట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు ఇలా. ఇక్కడ మనం మెన్షన్ చేస్తున్నాం కదమ్మా. T1 is equal to threading dot thread. Target is equal to squares. You are writing the code. Squares
Ah.
function executed by T1.
ఓకే. అంటే ఇక్కడ T1 అనేది థ్రెడా సార్ ఇక్కడ?
ఆబ్జెక్ట్ దాని ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అది థ్రెడ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్. దాన్ని నేమ్ ఇస్తున్నా, హేమ్నాథ్ అనే ఒక నేమ్ ఇస్తున్నా. ఇప్పుడు
ఇది
ఎవరి హ్యూమన్
హేమ్నాథ్
బీయింగ్
అనేది ఇప్పుడు మనకు థ్రెడా సార్ ఇది?
ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అమ్మా, థ్రెడ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ థ్రెడ్ నేమ్ రెండు ఉంటాయి ఇందులో. సబ్ థ్రెడ్ ఇది. ఆ సబ్ థ్రెడ్ యొక్క ఆబ్జెక్ట్ T1, ఆ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఒక నేమ్ సెట్ చేసుకుంటున్నా, హేమ్నాథ్ అని. సపోజ్
ఓకే.
నువ్వు ఉన్నావు అనుకో, నేనున్నాను అనుకో, మన ఇద్దరం ఉన్నాం అనుకో. నేను ఒక ఆబ్జెక్ట్, నువ్వు ఒక ఆబ్జెక్ట్. నీ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ నేమ్ ఏంటి? రాజు. నా ఆబ్జెక్ట్ నేమ్ KVR. అట్లా మనం నేమ్ సెట్ చేసుకుంటాం.
ఓకే సార్. ఓకే.
అర్థమైందా?
అర్థమైంది సార్.
ఇంకా రేపు యూ విల్ గెట్ మోర్ అండ్ మోర్ ఇన్ దట్ టుమారోస్ క్లాస్.
ఓకే. ఓకే. థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
Right. So Tulsi, sir, one more doubt. Is there any collect method in garbage collection? See ma, garbage collection code we don't write it. Whatever is there inside that, that is going to eliminate the unused memory space. So we are not writing the code of garbage collection in the code. So whether it is a collect method is there, something is there, I said inside the garbage collection, there is a concept of destructor will be there. What OS code is written, as a programmer, we need not to worry about it because it's an inbuilt facility is available. Okay, na Tulsi? So I had one interview yesterday, they asked, so maybe that is a gully level company, startup company, I think so, ma. Is it correct? Is it a startup? That's what. Because in the startups, they don't have any standards to ask anything because they don't know what is the reality of the Python. They'll ask whatever they like, outdated things and all those things, not programmable things also they will ask. So because some standard things supposed to be asked over there. Okay. Take care. In tomorrow class, I'll go for the continuation part of this multi-threading. Don't miss it. Thank you. Thank you, students. All the best.